The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast are for general information only. Any reliance on the information provided in this podcast is done at your own risk.
Hey everybody, this is Miley.
And this is Purvi.
And you're listening to That's What We Said, a podcast where we offer our insight on a variety of topics that touch our lives and probably yours on a daily basis. So this week our topic is how far will you go? So we're going to talk about how far you'll go in various areas of your life. The first thing is going to be how far you would go for your children.
Your family.
For me, your family and children. Second will be how far will you go for work? And then lastly, we're going to round it out with how far will you go for love?
So what's going on?
So I was just talking about the things I've done
Okay.
for my children. And, with Sammy being away to college, I was thinking the other day about how, wow, you know what? I haven't had to really get her a lot of stuff lately because she doesn't ask for much now that she's away, right? So it got me thinking about things that I've done for her, things I couldn't imagine ever even doing before. Like for
what?
example, concert tickets. My girlfriend and I, we bought One Direction tickets for our children who happen to be best friends, Sammy and her best friend. So they went to go see One Direction years ago over at Oracle. They saw them. They were up in nosebleed, and they had a great time. But after the concert, my daughter suffered so much post-concert depression. 2 weeks after, she was just like laying on the kitchen floor. I can't function. I miss them. I wish I could see One Direction. She was just not functioning right.
Okay.
Same thing with her best friend. So her best friend's mom, who I'm friends with, calls me and she's telling me that her daughter's doing the same thing. So we're doing a little bit of investigation. We found that in the following week there was going to be a One Direction show in Staples Center in LA. And long story short, we ended up getting them tickets. Second row seats, so they were a pretty penny. And something I would never, ever, ever consider doing. To me, a lot of times a concert ticket might be $150, $150, and that's good enough. But because Sammy and her best friend was suffering so much post-concert depression, we're like, let's just do this. Let's excite
So, but why
them.
wouldn't you do it? What does it mean going too far for somebody? If you
Well,
love them?
because to me, going too far for someone is going outside your normal behavior.
What my question is like, yeah, you went far, but I mean, some people have gone further. So what is your definition of going too far?
Well,
or
for
going
me,
far?
I'm thinking
Or
maybe
not
this
going
is
far?
going too far because every single time I told somebody what I did for her, the concert, not just that one concert, because that one concert started just this whole entire pattern.
So now she got spoiled from that situation.
And spending, like I always joke about, oh my God, I'm not going to tell my husband until I'm on my deathbed the amount of money I spent on concert tickets for Sammy, because it's quite a high number. So to me, to answer your question about what does that mean about how far would I go, to me, I felt like that went far because every time I told my other friends, they would say, that's crazy because that price of that One Direction ticket was way over.
So I think that
way
also is
over.
that because you're a good mom and you want your
that's
kids.
right. Can you
want your
repeat
kids-
that?
You're a semi-good mom. But
Yeah.
while we're on radio, we'll just say that you're a good mom.
But the thing is, though, when I look back, Sammy enjoyed it. But did I, maybe potentially set her up for future disappointment? Because then I set her up for having these great concerts.
But,
spending a lot of money. Now, if she were to sit anywhere outside of first, second row, she'd just be like, oh, this isn't fun. This is not worth it. It's just kind of bad. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like
Yeah, and maybe
my
she
kid
might
is
not
spoiled,
be.
but
Your
girl,
kid's spoiled.
Girl.
Well, I remember when we
Trust me.
used to talk, you used to always drive to LA and drive here,
Yes.
and you guys were like
Guess for what?
groupies for One Direction.
How dare you?
It's okay because you guys were driving
It
all
kinda
over the
worked.
place,
And it wasn't just One Direction. Then it became 5 Seconds of Summer. Then
Yeah.
it became All Time Low. Then
So then I guess
Pierce the
your
Veil.
question here is you did all that. Now it's really hard to stop. So how far should you go?
Exactly. We got crazy. That One Direction concert at the Staples Center was kind of the beginning of her whole entire high school career of just these concerts,
Yeah.
these good seats. Not just seeing her favorite band like One Direction or 5 Seconds of Summer the one time when they come to the Bay Area, but we're talking every single show in California. I went as far as taking her to Florida for her 16th birthday to catch 5 Seconds of Summer. I mean, she's seen these guys so many times already. So just going fast forward now, like I keep thinking about, God, what did I do? Did I set her up for future disappointment? Because that's so unrealistic to spend
Yeah.
that kind of money on a concert ticket just to
Yeah.
try to get first row. In the end, what Sammy told me one day, and it all came full circle, she's like, Mom, all of these concert experience that I had, thank you so much, because I might not have material things, but she has all these memories.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I don't think you set her up for disappointment. I think you created memories with her.
created a
and-
monster.
No, not really, because I think
Just
what
kidding.
might happen now is like you set a bar high for Mom, but for her, she's gonna work harder to be that, person to be like, you know what, I know being in front row is awesome, so I'm gonna work
Yeah.
hard to be able to afford the front row.
And now
right?
she knows.
Yeah.
Moving forward, it's going to be all her.
It's all on her.
So-
She's not asking you for
Yeah.
money anymore. She's not
Yeah.
asking anything. So actually, I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think in this scenario, going far for your for your family, for your daughter was good because
It's good.
you built memories. These are my
Yeah.
2 cents. I don't know,
Yeah.
but you built memories. You built a rapport with your daughter.
Yeah.
You shared.
We
You
had
shared
fun.
time. Yeah, you
We
had
had a
fun.
lot of-
You were the fun mom, which everybody
was.
wants to be.
I was. No one can be.
And now that she's in college, she knows she doesn't have those expectations from you. And
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to ask a boyfriend or a husband for it. I think she's
No.
going to work hard to
She'll
get
know.
herself. So I think it was
Exactly.
more of a learning thing for her more than it was an expectation.
Yeah. Because I'll tell you this, even though I did think about, gosh, what did I set herself up for the future? If I had to do it over again, I'd do the same exact thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is tough. I mean, I don't have children, so I can't really, I don't know. I mean, I see what my sister goes through with
Yeah,
her and my
yeah,
brother through
yeah.
their family.
But your nephews
Yeah.
and your nieces, though, right?
Yeah,
How
they're-
far would you go for them? And
So-
would you go beyond what your sister would like you to do?
What?
Right?
I do. I love my babies a lot. But actually, to speak for my sister, she goes above and beyond for her kids. One of the scenarios was like, I think her son wanted to go skiing or something, or go somewhere, Wyoming or something. And my sister's like, okay, well, yeah, we can go there. And he's like, that's all I want, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, all right, fine. That's all, I'm like, the kid is 7.
Wait, why did he want to go to Wyoming? He's
I don't,
7.
there was something there. I don't know what
Is
it was. He wanted to go see
Wyoming-
something. I don't know. I can't remember what state it was.
Is
but anyway.
Woody from Toy Story there?
I know. No, I don't know. I don't know. There was a reason that they wanted to go to some. He wanted to go to some place, and my sister's like, "Well, just plane tickets and room and
yeah.
board and food and all that was really expensive."
Yeah. He wasn't
But
okay with
they
just going to
still-
the park.
But they still went because they wanted him to have this experience.
Yeah.
A and B. He was asking for it,
Yeah.
and kids don't ask for too much.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I didn't ask for anything, and I didn't get anything. Or even if I did ask, I didn't get it. So
He said, yeah, sure, whatever. Whatever you
I
say
think
for
our
me.
parents
Go over there and go play with dirt.
yeah, like you want a doll? Here's a paper doll. You can paste things to it. There's your doll. Thanks,
You
Mom.
want some new tennis shoes? Here's some chunklets.
Yeah. So I think I think that every parent out there probably goes far
Yeah.
for their kids because they're your kids, but you have to think about what's your limit. I think everybody has a different level of length of what they would go to for their
Right,
kids,
for their
and it also
kids.
has to do with cultural traditions, things like that.
Exactly.
I do think that nowadays parents in our generation are going way above and beyond for their kids, and usually it's material things. I think my parents probably went above and beyond in non-material ways, and they
Like what?
sacrificed a lot, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
sacrificed their whole lives for us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so they couldn't afford the material things that we wanted to because they were,
they
working.
want to send you to school.
Yeah, they want
Yeah.
to send you to a good school, and they want you to, save. They wanted to save money so that you can have the things when you're at an age where you can,
So you
appreciate.
get a good job and make a lot
Yeah.
of money.
Yeah.
And then go far at work.
Yeah.
So Porby, that's a great segue. How far would you go at work?
Work.
Work.
Depends. So I think depending on what you want, right? Like how far you want to go up the ladder,
Right.
what you want to do with your life. I think for me, my situation's been that I flip-flop a lot with my career.
Stop flip-flopping.
I know, it's really hard. I get
Are you
really,
a fish?
Maybe.
That's a different
That's a
podcast
kind of
episode.
fish, different kind of fish.
That's what he said.
No, so basically,
Flip flop in
Flip-flop.
what way?
so like
Like
career-wise, one day I'll be an engineer, and then the next day I'll want to be a program manager. The next day I want to be a project manager. Next day product. Like I just kept flip-flopping. Like I just don't know what's gonna make me happy.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for like, okay, well I'm good at these things. Maybe this area will fit,
Right.
my area of expertise. But in my career I have flip-flop. But in the recent, I've decided to go into product management, right?
Yeah.
And I've talked to a lot of people within the company to be like, hey, I'll shadow whoever, I'll get up to speed. I just need a opportunity, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of shut door, like a lot of closed doors in my face. And I don't know what the issue is. Maybe I'm the issue. I don't know.
Maybe it's that RBF we always talk about.
I know, but then if I go with a smile on my face, all of them, they're like, that girl cray. She's on some cray pills, like they do with you.
She got the happy pills today.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. So, so my thought was like, how far would I go to work at work? Like, do I go all the way to the VP level to be like, hey, I'm trying to get a position here. What can I do, right? Or do I go
Right.
through? Also, it's like kind of feels like groveling when you're
Yeah.
asking somebody to give you an opportunity. And my thinking is like, how
Not
far would I?
begging though, right?
But
Not
groveling is
begging.
similar to begging. It's
But
kind
you
of
don't
like,
want to do that.
here are all my, and it's like for your job, you have to kiss a lot of butt.
Yeah.
You have to, and I'm not good at that stuff. I'm not good at being fake. But it's just kind of like, how far would you go to like kiss butt or
Right.
grovel or get something you want out of work?
You know,
right?
there's a super,
And I'm not talking in a
super,
sexual way because I don't do that.
That's a different podcast.
Maybe I
episode.
should. I don't know.
Maybe you should. Maybe there's a lot of people who do that.
I'm sure.
We won't talk about where we work. Anyway, no, I think there's a fine line because on the one hand, maybe you're not sure how far you should go, right? You don't know how much initiative you should take, right? Then I bet you there's a lot of managers out there that are like, oh, we like it when the person takes initiative. Like,
Yeah.
they could be so busy doing all this other stuff that they don't have time. So when you appear in their office and you just kind of say, hey, what about this? Maybe some managers are out there who appreciate.
But okay, some of them do say, hey, I really appreciate your motivation, your initiative, but they just don't know how to help or they just don't want to help. And
Yeah.
again, it goes back to being a hater. I don't know.
Yeah, I
But
know.
but I don't know what it
Listen.
is. But for me, if somebody came and said, hey, I'm good at X, Y, and Z, I'm not going to charge you for anything. I'm going to do this pro bono. But where can I jump in and help out? I'd be like, oh, okay, why don't you talk to X and, whatever. And they have a lot of work on their plate. Maybe they can give you something.
People are just so damn busy, I think, that they can't stop and just think about it. Well, I don't know. That's
I
just
don't
my
know.
thought.
There's no excuse for helping somebody, right?
Yeah.
So again, for me, so now my next step is to figure out, do I go and continue asking the same people like, hey, I just want to circle back with you. I just feel like it's begging, groveling, and it's not who I am.
This is what I think you should do. Just go back one more time, right? You're not, if it's one thing if you go back week after week after week, just go back one more time and then that's it.
Yeah.
Cut your losses. If at least you did go back and ask them one more time. If they're not going to try to help you, then maybe you just move on. But that's the question you ask yourself too. How far will you go?
Exactly.
Before you say, I'm going to start looking
Exactly.
outside.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot. You're probably not the only one in this situation.
And I'm sure I'm
there's a
not.
lot
And I
of
think
people out
there's areas of improvement that could happen. I mean,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people preach like, oh, I help and I'm this and I'm that and I want to, but then
do
they
they
don't
really?
practice it.
Yeah,
Come
do
on.
they really? I think there are people
There
who
are.
do, but I think maybe there's so many other people that are so busy with other things.
Maybe.
That they're not thinking. So maybe people out there who are trying to look for something new,
Yeah.
like they kind of have to take it into their own
So,
hands.
so I wonder if people out there and you guys that are listening, let me know, like, what are your tactics here in changing position internally and are getting a lot of closed doors? What do you do? Do you just throw in the towel and leave and find something else? Or, do you continue on it until something comes up? What are your advices? What have you done that have been successful? I'd really like to know, actually. Like, what are your success stories?
Yeah, it would be good to know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's work. What about love?
How far would you go for
love?
I don't know. It's a tough one. People do a lot of stuff for love, as long as it's reciprocated.
That calls for a song. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to go.
Oh my
I'm
God!
going to make
Start
it
singing.
this
Please don't start singing. Lord, it's no good.
What would you? Just gonna shut up.
Don't do it.
No, how far do you think people should go for love? For your love, how far do you think a
A
person should go?
lot.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I think a lot of people nowadays have a wallop around their heart, and people have to do a lot to jump it.
Yeah.
And I think with instant gratification now in today's world, people don't do that anymore.
Yeah, really.
So it's the bare minimum now. It's the bare, like, in San Francisco, I will tell you this, that I have Ubered to a date instead of a date picking me up because nobody owns a car.
So nobody owns a car.
Yeah, and then
That's really like that
my
in
first
New York.
experience in San Francisco, I went on a date. I just moved here, met some guy out in line, went on a date in the city, and I had a car. So he's like, hey, I'm in this neighborhood. Do you want to drive over here? This was before Uber got popular, right? It's like 10 years ago. And I was like, drive over to you, because he didn't want to spend cab money to come over to me.
Oh my
And I was like,
that's a sign.
and I will tell you,
Just
San
cancel the
Francisco,
date.
I know. I was like, 7 by 7. That means like everything around you is no longer than 10-minute ride, right?
Right.
And now I have to drive to this guy, go park, and meet him at the Starbucks. And I'm like, I'm doing all of the work.
Was he even cute?
No, he's a nice guy, but
You got catfished.
I-
Do you see his picture? Did you get catfished?
I don't know. I don't even remember anymore. No, I didn't get catfish, but I'm sure he was fine. But it's just, I don't know how far we would go for love. I guess we go a lot. If we love somebody, we do a lot for them.
Yeah. So there's tangible things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Moving to another city for love. Changing maybe a job for love. What if it's something you believe in? Let's say you grew up a Democrat and you fall in love with a Republican. Would you ever change your party line? How far would you go, right? How
People,
would you?
yeah, people do that.
Like it's one
Unless
thing.
you're hardcore, then it's different. But if you're kind of like,
Well, if you're
wavering.
hardcore, then you wouldn't fall in love. If you're hardcore, like liberal, you're not.
no,
gonna
it's not
fall in
true.
love with-
I have a couple friends who are hardcore individual. Like
And they
one's
love each
hardcore
other.
Republican and one's hardcore
And
Democrat.
they still make it
And
work.
they just decided not to bring it up at home because it's causing too many issues. Their views can be talked amongst friends,
Yeah.
and sometimes a little bit in the house, but not completely.
But they love each other enough.
yeah,
to
because
get
I
past that.
think the way you're raised and the way your environment was and is, it really determines whether you're Republican or Democrat, right? Because if you were grown up in a liberal state around liberal parents, liberal friends, you might be like, oh, okay, I understand. I think, I want to be Democratic or Republican or whatever. But if you were raised in an area which was like completely anti, very discriminatory, anti,
You may end up like that.
everything, then you might end up like that.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I think I know some people who were like raised, their parents are hardcore Republican, but they grew up and they changed their mind. It's one of those things where you have parents that'll say, okay, you know what? Like for me, raised Catholic, but as an adult, my parents all, do you go to church every Sunday? Do you do this, do that? My parents have decided like, you do whatever you want. This is what we raised you as, but as an adult, you do whatever you want. I know we're going a little bit off topic, but I don't know. It's like going far for love.
I think you have to set a standard for yourself
Yeah.
and not go so far that you're not going to respect yourself anymore.
Exactly.
But go enough where it's reciprocated. Like if you're the one that's always doing everything for love and going far for a guy or a girl and you're not getting anything back, then that's not good.
Yeah.
But if it's equal, then I say, hey, if you're both truly in love and you're equally going far for each other, that's okay. But
Some
it's
people, I don't think some people realize that they're giving a little too much in a relationship.
I'm that person.
Ooh.
I'm
I
that
know.
person.
You don't give enough to me.
Because I'm worn down from giving it to everybody else.
That's what he said. Are you that person?
I am.
Are you the
I'm
give?
a middle child, so I'm more of a giver than a taker. Unfortunately, even though I like to take, you guys come and get me some gifts.
You always take.
But I give a lot.
So you go far for love.
above and beyond.
Guys out there that are listening, if you want someone who's going to go above and beyond.
Yeah, I
But-
spent a lot of money on fools.
You did.
I have.
And you got fooled in the end.
I
'cause
totally
those
got
fools is
fooled. I got
gone.
fooled in a different way. Because I think if you're the type of person I am and you're always giving, then the guy's always going to take. It has to be an equal.
Yeah.
And
So
but
you
for
need
me,
to
I'm
learn
always
that.
I do, but I'm always like, if I see something like, oh, so and so would love this, and I would buy it, even though if they've never done that for me, it's for inherent. Like, oh, the poor guy is sick. Let me go bring him some soup.
Chicken soup.
But I probably would never even get a call if I was sick.
yeah.
it's just who I am, right?
I know.
It's like, I don't know.
You know, but you're okay with that, though.
No, nobody's okay with that, but that's just who I am. Unfortunately, like I do things for people.
People take advantage of you.
I know it's
I
hard to
don't.
deal with. You do take advantage of me all the time. You know you like it.
I do. That's
I
what
took
she
advantage
said.
of Miley earlier. I grabbed her boo boo.
Yeah.
What
You
was
grabbed
your-
my boot. She grabbed my boot. Hashtag me too, Porby. That's a different podcast episode. I think Porby's going a little too far with our little
Yes,
physical.
that's how far I went.
She
For
went
our
too far.
love.
So,
this is how far I go
uh,
with our love.
coming up, you'll see it on the news. 2 podcast hosts battle it out in the courtroom.
Hashtag me too.
Hashtag me too. That's a future podcast episode. Anyway,
I hope this was helpful for you guys out there.
I hope so too. I think that we could talk on and on and on
Mhm.
about this. I don't think we have any answers for.
But I do want our listeners to chime in and let me know
Yes.
what their success stories are for love, family,
Yes.
and work.
yes, especially love. Focuses on love for Porby this year. So yes, please let Porby know. Let us know. You guys know how to reach us. Information is on our show notes. Our email is thatswhatwesaidpc@gmail.com. Did I get that?
Yes, you did.
All right. So hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Bye. Why am I so good at stuff?
You said you were good at anything.
I'm overqualified for everything.
Bitch, please.